Ave Gurl Drita. It's the one and only. Also known as Drita coming through your mother speakers. You're now tuned in to Nolazine. Give old side. Bougie. Don't I give old side?
Gotcha.
But shout out to the whole Magnolia though.
So growing up in the Magnolia, how it was for you?
See, my mama, she out the St. Thomas. And see, I got a little story behind everything. We ain't gonna get into all of that. See, when my book come out, y'all gonna know a lot of details. But, you know, we St. Thomas, Magnolia. Shout out to the little fee. All that. But, yeah, I've been on my own since I was, like, 14 years old. Like, by myself. Nobody. You know. Graduated high school. Just, you know, grinding. Hanging on the avenue. With Shorty and them. The Magnolia hoes. The youngest girl. The youngest. Watching them, they, you know, raised me.
You know what? We're about to jump into this interview. Great. Because, like, you know, everybody talk about the Magnolia dudes and everybody like that. I'm glad we got somebody that was under
the Magnolia
hoes. Let's talk about the Magnolia hoes. So, how was the Magnolia hoes formed?
See, they older than me, so I don't really know how they was formed, but I just know how, you know, they raised me. Like, they introduced me to a lot of different shit. Like, from hustling, slanging clothes, talking that shit, you know, just being a boss. Period. Every last one of them. Shout out to Javonda. Shout out to Kiki. Shout out to all the moves. All of them. Like, Kitty Black, Shorty. Think about Shorty. Look, I was like 15. It needs to be like, you know how when people giving away their little hand-me-down clothes? People be giving away their little hand-me-down clothes, and they're like, Shorty giving away her clothes. Just take them. You know, they like, just take them. I'm like, fucking right, I'm going to take them. That's Shorty. That's Magnolia Shorty. I'm going to take it. You know, I'm going to take it. So, literally, was walking in her shoes.
So,
literally.
Like, you know, speaking on, you know, growing up around Shorty, and I'm like,
fun.
And like, what does Magnolia Shorty means to the Magnolia Project?
Everything fun, loud, energy. Ain't been the same since Shorty been gone. Like, the whole hood. The hoes ain't been the same. Like, the Magnolia, we done lost, you know, we had a lot of losses since Shorty. A lot, a big chunk. A lot. Everything, you know, it still ain't the same. You know, they had the memories of Shorty at Essence last night. Everybody's still crying. Still, you know, it's still that hole there. It's that shit hard. You just took another loss. My girl Tamiko, Magnolia. Like, the Magnolia just been taking losses. Like, you know, I'm basically the youngest female from there who still doing it, representing.
Gotcha. So, how did you become one, like, music artist?
Yeah, sure, I don't even know. Like, everything happened so fast. I ain't never want to be no rapper, no. Especially the bounce rapper. Like, I was one of those.
Shorty.
Yeah, Shorty. But, you know, I ain't never, like, looking at Shorty, I ain't never used to be like, oh, I won't be a bounce rapper like Shorty. I ain't never, never in a million years would have thought I'd have been doing no bounce music. You know, I was always around, you know, Kitty Black and Magnolia Wrong. Right after Shorty passed, they went straight into
I'm sorry.
commercial break.
Commercial break. So, So we talk about how you became one, music artist.
Oh.
But you was basically saying you didn't want to be an artist.
Yeah, I never wanted to be a bouncer artist. Like.
So I have this question for you. So, how did you come up? With your music name?
Ave Gurl Drita. I'm definitely an Ave Girl, but Drita. Oh, Magnolia Shorty gave me Drita before I was rapping. You know Drita from My Wives, the little crazy one.
Mm-mm.
You gotta go look at it. And her name Drita. They mob wives, so I got the name from her. Magnolia Shorty gave me that name, but I've been around them. Magnolia Shorty, Kitty Blake. A lot of my friends was doing bounce. And one time I went to the studio with Ron, and he did his song, Dick Rider. I'm on that song. And that was like a year and a half before I really started rapping. I'm saying like 2 words in the song. You wouldn't even, catch it. But right after that, I woke up and said, I'm gonna make me a song. So I called Fred, R.I.P. Fred. I said, because I was cool with Fred before I was rapping, been cool with Fred. Called Fred, went by Fred. The rest is,
You've been on ever since, huh?
Yeah.
And so speaking on Fred, like long live, Flip said Fred, like, but what did Fred mean, to the, bounce community?
Oh, a lot. Fred been, in that since Watch That Waistlines, and he was like, Fred was younger than me, so he was probably like 14.
Like, Fred was one of the people I saw that actually really grew up
in
there, like, for real.
Yes.
Like throughout them, like, dang, how old Fred is? Like, it's like, it was damn like he was forced into being like a bounce DJ.
Yes.
Like, since young.
Yes, he was one of the youngest ones.
And I can honestly say he paved his way, like, as a DJ as well. Like, I didn't know he was a producer, too, until I got a little older, but he definitely paved his way as, like, a DJ as well.
He was a DJ. He was a bounce rapper. He was producer. It was everything.
He was bounce everything.
Everything. He did it for years. About 15 years. About 15 years he did. Fred was like, 30 when he died? About 15 years. Oh, he definitely made an impact to the bounce game. And they're going to miss him. Like, for real.
But long live Fred.
Long live Fred.
So, do you have any more music or like...
I have...
like features coming up?
Yeah, I have a nice feature with this boy off the West Bank. His name's Swipe.
What'd you say?
This boy off the West Bank.
Yeah.
His name's Swipe.
Okay.
Yeah, we had recorded in Atlanta. Like 3 weeks ago. It's a nice song. I got that coming up, but I drop a lot. I drop so much I be forgetting I just dropped the song. I have a bad way at promoting. I don't really know how to promote like that. I do everything by myself. Actually, everything, like writing, recording, go and find video photographers, how I want my video, all that. I even go out in the street and try to promote my shit by myself. I'll go get a drink at the bar and go to the DJ booth. You can play my song.
But you gonna make it happen one way or another, huh?
Gotta make it happen.
So, like, for us being a bounce artist, and like, bounce is going crazy right now. Like, the world's starting to really feel bounce for real, like mainstream wise. Like, what separates you from everybody else out there? You don't know?
I know. I know. Cause I feel like I do it differently. Like, I do it how I want to do it. I don't do it how they want me to do it. Like, if you listen to my music, a lot of my songs sound different. Like, I could be rapping from the beginning to the end on a bounce beat. I could be just saying anything. I got songs where it's just punching through the whole thing. I got, songs I'm trying to sing in her. I feel like that sound different. I don't sound like nobody. I sound like Drita. I try not to sound like other people. I try not to, that my song sound like how other people's songs sound. I try to stay different.
Gotcha. So, being, in the music industry for a while now, tell us, what do you enjoy most about it? And, what do you hate about it?
Ooh. The main thing I enjoy about it is that I love music. Nobody can take that away from me. I love music. From all types of music. And that would make me keep going. Because I like to go record. I like to, if I think about something, I hurry up and go write it down. And, go record it before I even know what I want in the song. So I love that about it. I love, moving around and networking with different people. I was in Atlanta for QC ball. I had met him. I ain't trying to, try to show myself, try to get signed or nothing. I just was, playing it cool. But he gave me some good motivation. All that keep me going. I feel like I ain't doing it for nothing. Everybody got their own time. Everybody got their own pace. So I just do it because that's what I love to do. What I don't like about it, the hate.
The hate?
The hate. The hate and the, I could curse.
Well, say what you gotta say.
The hate and the dick riding. I don't like that. I don't think people give people chances, their music. They just follow, the wave.
Well, you live in New Orleans. They've been doing that for...
when they gonna, have their own mind,
I always tell people, when New Orleans artists start realizing the world is bigger than New Orleans and stop trying to grab New Orleans people, you're going to become successful.
Mm-hmm.
I named my company Nolazine, but I knew I wasn't dependent on only New Orleans people.
Right.
I always embraced other artists, from it. Because people used to get mad at me, man, why you posting artists from Detroit? Chicago, man, you in New Orleans? I'm like, no, I named my company Nolazine, but I didn't name it New Orleans blog or media. I made sure and also people don't get. You gotta bring other people into what you're doing. The world is way bigger than they got billions of people out here.
Right.
You ain't gonna do enough numbers in New Orleans.
Right.
And another reason, and a whole other reason why we all lost and not getting no money is because we don't even embrace Louisiana for real.
Yeah.
If you a bounce artist, most of your shows coming in the country towns.
Yep.
Only artists really getting that is bounce artists. The local artists ain't getting it because they think they can only get hot in their city. You right in the state.
Yeah.
The Mississippi, they got local country towns would love you.
Yes, and they love New Orleans people. They love New Orleans bounce.
But they don't know New Orleans rappers because they don't move around enough.
Yeah, they don't. They use social media and just think they gonna pop off like
Man,
that.
Dudes really be happy to be known from uptown to the West Bank. Right. People think they got a big fan base if they got the West Bank too. Or people from the West Bank, they think they popping if they got somebody East listening to them. It's way bigger than this.
Yeah, it is. See, that's another thing I like about being a bounce rapper.
But I'm about to mess you up.
What?
I interviewed over 300 music artists in New Orleans. From New Orleans, right? In 4 years, right? If I show you my YouTube, you know that New Orleans is not my top city.
Now?
It's not my top city.
Oh my!
It's never been not my top. No. I have 300 artists on my platform from New Orleans, and New Orleans is not even New Orleans don't even support they don't even want to watch their interviews. Houston is my number 1, Atlanta my number 2, I think Dallas number 3, and New Orleans number 4.
Right.
Louisiana not even my number 1 state, and I got Baton Rouge artists everywhere. That's why I say you just gotta kind of just keep moving.
Right.
YouTube showed me if not to just focus on New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just analytics.
Yeah.
So I'm telling people, man, don't if it don't get this if it don't feel bad if people ain't supporting you down here.
Right.
They gonna ride your wave if everybody else start really talking about you.
Right. But still, you still gotta keep on pushing and keep on moving forward. Still. I fuck with Lafayette. They love that bounce shit. Lafayette, Mississippi, Philly. I been all in Philly. They love that bounce shit. They even dance like, you know, they from New Orleans. That's how much they love that shit. Baltimore, all them people love that. It's just, you know, people don't want to spend their money to move around. They just expect people to grasp on some and pay them this just because they feel like they somebody. When you gotta put your money, you gotta put your money where your mouth is. You gotta move around. You got to. Them people, all the people who get signed, get all them millions of dollars to move around and push them orders. That none of that shit free. That shit ain't free.
People always tell people like, man, media, nothing ain't free.
Nothing ain't free.
Nothing, but it never has been free.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was actually more expensive. Like, it costs money to get them on, like, right up to the source from Master P and all them. Like, I think people who come out with music not just thinking everything free, and they're gonna learn.
They feel like since they have a fan base, you know.
Even with a fan base, if it only lasts so long, like, the people gonna grow to somebody else if you ain't doing enough. You gotta do enough. You gotta do way more than what you think you're doing.
You gotta keep going.
See
New Orleans, they'll turn your hit song. They'll fuck with it. Gonna be on their planet at every function for a little minute. Next thing you know, poof, they on to the next one.
But like bounce lasts longer than regular hip hop. Depends on the song. But like a bounce song could last forever. Like Hot Boy Ronald still get booked for if Walking Like Ronald 20 years later.
Yeah, them classics.
But I'm saying, but it wasn't a classic at first. You gotta work your records. That's the thing. People don't work their records. Like back in the day, people used to work their record for at least 6 months to a year.
But the internet.
But you can still work it through the internet. You just gotta work it in different markets. People don't want to put money behind themselves though.
Yeah.
So you know, you just need a team. You gotta know how to work shit.
Gotcha.
So tell us. I'm like, what's next for you?
Not stopping. Still grinding in the studio. Moving around. I gotta start back, you know, doing some shows. I ain't been really doing no shows. I just been, you know, working in the studio. Trying to get a hit. Drop everything I record. I don't hold music. I drop. Like, I feel like at the end of the day, I'm dropping like dirt. Like, you gotta catch up with me. You gonna have to catch up with me. So it's coming. I ain't rushing it. With whatever's for you, gonna be for you soon.
Okay. All right. And also, last but not least, tell the world what can they find you at on social media and everywhere.
Drita versus Drita. You could Google me, Drita versus Drita. You could Google Ave Gurl Drita. You could even Google Drita coming through your fucking speakers. You could Google me. I'm everywhere on all platforms. I hope I ain't leave nothing out. Cause
well, if you leave something out, we gonna have part 2.